A nomadic warrior species that has haunted humanity for centuries, striking without warning and vanishing into the void. But who are they? What drives their endless war? The Vandul are a species defined by survival. Unlike humanity, they have no home world, no central government. Instead, they roam the stars in massive clans, each a self-sufficient war machine. Their society is built on strength, efficiency, and the ruthless lessons of the past. The Vandul clans operate as martial meteocracies. Leaders earn their place through strength and cunning. The strongest clans command kingships, massive capital vessels that serve as a mobile fortress. Their raids are not mindless violence. They target communications, medical facilities, anything that could slow retaliation. The Vandul see conversation as weakness. To them, every word wasted is a moment stolen from survival. Their biology is as terrifying as their tactics. They can survive the vacuum of space, enduring conditions that would kill a human in a second. They are perfectly adapted for war. They have no gods, no religion, only the stories of their greatest warriors. Their young are taught not of faith but strategy. Every battle is a lesson, every defeat a warning. In 2945, the UEE finally declared war. Operation Mandrake was humanity's answer. But the Vandul don't fight for territory, for politics, or even for hate. They fight because that is what they are. They are the storm that never ends, the enemy we still don't understand. And until humanity finds a way to break the cycle, the Vandul will keep coming. 2681. The first contact between humanity and the Vandul was not a meeting. It was a massacre. Dell Township, Armitage, a farming colony unprepared for war. The Vandul came without warning, without mercy. By the time the smoke cleared, the settlement was ash. No demands, no negotiations, just slaughter. And it was only the beginning. For the next 30 years, the Vandul returned, again and again. Raids became invasions. Orion, once a thriving frontier colony, became a war zone. By 2712, the UEE had no choice. They abandoned the system to the Vandul. But the Vandul were far from finished. 24 years after Orion's abandonment, the Vandul attacked the Tyber system. A classified data log from the assault, containing vital research on the Vandul biology and a personal log, was recovered from xenobiologist Dr. Ella Voss of the UEE Survey Corps. Her log remained classified until 2946, following the Battle of Vega II. Dr. Voss' body was never recovered, but her data pod was found adrift near Vega in 2741. Personal log of Dr. Ella Voss, xenobiologist aboard the UEE Corps. Stardate 2733. Location: Deep Orbit Observation Post Tyber Alpha. The telescopes showed them first, not as sensor blips or radar ghosts, but as swarms of jagged silhouettes blocking out the stars. I studied Vandul migration patterns for 12 years. I'd written papers on their clan behaviors, but nothing prepared me for this sight. Tyber Control, this is Research Station Alpha. You have incoming. We see them, Doctor. Strap in. I remain hidden in the asteroid belt. My power grid is failing me, and all I can do is watch. Supplemental log 0400 hours. They hit the 31st Battle Group like a scythe through wheat. I watched through the observation dome as the UE Destroyer Sentinel took a plasma volley straight to the bridge. The explosion boomed silent and terrible, casting a flickering light over my face. Lifeboats jettisoned, dozens of them. None made it more than a few kilometers before the Vandul hunted them down. Not for slaughter, for sport. I am stuck on this small station. I fear if I leave I am dead. If I stay here, I am just as dead. Log supplemental, 1100 hours. Tyber 2 is burning. All I can do is observe their destruction. The bombardment started with the spaceports, then the power grids, now the farm domes. Great plumes of black and orange curl up in the atmosphere. From here, it looks like the planet itself is weeping. They are boarding the shelters. God help them. That was the last transmission I received from the capital. Log supplemental, day 3. The harvesters have arrived. Great skeletal things crawling over the planet's corpse like flies on rotting meat. They chew through cities, strip mines, and even wreckage of our ships. I watched one dismantle the Sentinel's carcass in 6 hours flat. My ration packs are running low. The station's oxygen recycler is failing. I think they know I'm here. This is my final log entry. They are docking. Not the Vandul. Worse. Things that follow them. Scavengers. Pirates. The dregs of the galaxy come to pick at Tyber's bones. I am jettisoning the data cores in an armored pod. Maybe someone will find them. My research may not be lost. Maybe they'll learn. As for me, I left the airlock open.
2737. The Vandul struck Tyber first. Then, without pause, they turned to Virgo. A system of farmers, scientists, families. Serene, its tropical forest, once called the Garden of the Frontier, was reduced to a wasteland. The Vandul didn't just conquer, they consumed. A silver journal and wedding bracelet were recovered from the ashes of Kastak by an unidentified Banu trader in 2791. The items were delivered anonymously to the Vega Memorial Archive with no explanation, just a scrap of paper bearing the coordinates of the discovery site. The trader vanished before questions could be asked. To this day, their motives remain unknown.
The sky over Serene burned bright tonight, not the soft orange sunset, but the sickly green of Vandul warships lighting up the clouds. Lena saw it first. She dropped a basket of winter wheat. The grain scattered across the porch like fallen stars. "Papa," she whispered, pointing to the ships. I didn't lie to her. They had finally come. It was merely an illusion that they would stop at Tyber. The evacuation notices were blaring at dawn. All citizens report to the Kastak spaceport. I loaded the truck with what little we could carry. Seed bags turned into makeshift suitcases. Heirlooms left behind. Lena clutched her mother's wedding bracelet like a prayer. We passed the Terraskov wheat fields on the way down to the town. The crops were ripe, golden, ready for harvest. No one was stopping to reap them. They bombed the spaceport first. We were 3 kilometers away when we saw the first strike seat. The shock waves shattered the truck's window. Lena screamed. I saw the harvester through the cracks in the windshield, a jagged black claw tearing through the sky. The 81st tried to hold them off. Brave fools. Their fighters burned up like meteorites, their remains like falling stars. A corporal with a bleeding forward herded us into the old Far Star warehouse. "Wait for the transports," he gasped. The children were crying. Someone was singing a hymn. Outside, Kastak burned. No transport came. The corporal lied. Maybe he just hoped. By noon we heard the screeching. Not bombs, but boarding pods. They were in the streets, in the houses. Old man Resnick grabbed his fire axe. "I won't let them take my grandkids," he shouted. He didn't come back. Lena's fever spiked last night. The air tasted like metal and smoke. I broke into the agri center for meds. The place was looted clean. On the wall, the Project Farstar emblem still hung. A golden ship sailing through the stars we'll never see. I took the cyanide capsules from the biolab, just in case. They're at the warehouse doors. Lena is sleeping, the bracelet's still in her hand. I'm writing this so someone knows. Serene was beautiful. The wheat was ready for harvest.
Virgil was never reclaimed. To this day, Vandul harvesters pick its bones clean. For a century, Caliban endured sporadic raids. The UEE grew complacent. Then, on July 7th, 2884, the Vandul returned. 4:43 a.m. Earth Standard Time. The 89th mobilized, not knowing the nightmare they faced. 4 ships were lost in minutes. Then they saw it, the kingship, and Commander Sylvie Randall made her choice.
I was supposed to be mapping out stellar anomalies near the system's edge when the sensors screamed to life. At first, I thought it was a glitch. Then the scope resolved the contacts. Dozens, then hundreds, pouring out of the jump point like a storm of knives. At their heart, the kingship. I'd heard stories. Every spacer had. But seeing it in the flesh, if you could call that monstrous jagged hull flesh, was something else. It didn't look built. It looked grown. A tumor of black metal and green fire. The 89th never stood a chance. They didn't run. That's what sticks with me. The 89th was a logistics squadron. Freight haulers, refueling tenders, a handful of retrofitted patrol crafts. They should have bolted, but they didn't. I watched from the shadows of Caliban 4's rings as Commander Randall's voice crackled over the emergency band.
All civilian vessels. This is UEE Naval Command. Evacuation protocols are in effect. Repeat, evacuation immediately.
No panic, no prayers, just orders. Then her squadron turned toward the Vanduul. They bought time, not with clever tactics or superior firepower. They had neither. They bought it with hulls and lives. I saw a supply tender, engines shot out, ram a drill ahead full on. A patrol corvette parked itself in front of a refugee convoy and took a torpedo meant for them. And the whole time, the kingship loomed, its guns methodically dismantling Creon's orbital defenses. The first evac ship made it out. I don't know how many, not enough. The 89th was down to 3 ships by the time the second fleet arrived. I watched the reinforcements jump in, watched them take one look at the slaughterhouse Caliban had become, watched them realize they weren't here to save anything, just to witness. I'm leaving the system today. Cryon burns below me. The Vandul are already sending down harvesters. In a year, there'll be nothing left but scars. The 89th's last transmission plays on a loop in my head. Static. The Randall's voice, calm as space dust.
Tell them we held.
And yet no one will ever know how they did it.
For 250 years, the Vandul have raided, conquered, and vanished. They don't seek territory, they don't seek peace. They are the storm, unrelenting, inevitable. This is not a war of empires, it is survival. and the Vandul are winning. The UEE has tried to negotiate, to study them, to fight back. But the Vandul follow a brutal doctrine. No surrender, no prisoners. Their ships self-destruct rather than be captured. Their warriors fight till the last breath. Why? Because to them, weakness is death. For centuries, the Vandul have hunted the edges of human space, silent, merciless, unstoppable. This is the Vandul war fleet. The Scythe, the Vandul's signature fighter, fast, agile, lethal. Its bladed wings aren't just for show. They carve through armor like flesh. Most pilots who see one up close don't live to tell the tale. The blade, lighter, deadlier, often the first warning of a raid. Scouts, interceptors, skirmishers. If you see blades, the rest of the horde is not far behind. Then there is the glaive, rare, elite, a fighter reserved for Vandul veterans. Twin blades, twin neutron guns. If a glaive marks you, pray your ejection system works. Few have been captured, few are still replicated, but when humanity turns the Vandul's own weapons against them, that's a victory worth savoring. The driller, part troop carrier, part battleship. Where it goes, invasion follows. Its guns can level a city block. Its belly carries hundreds of warriors, hungry for slaughter. And the Void, a bomber with a taste for carnage. Torpedoes for ships, boarding pods for crews, they leave no survivors. And then there's the Kingship, not just a warship, a symbol. A mobile fortress, a clan's pride. Where it appears, systems fall. 2712, Orion falls. 2884, Caliban is lost. For over 200 years, no human force would kill one. Until Vega. The Gauntless sacrifice proved they can die, but make no mistake. Where one kingship falls, another rises. This is the Vandul war machine, relentless, adapting, always hunting. The question isn't if they'll strike again, but where. Know your enemy or die screaming. We have already mentioned the systems of Orion, Virgo, and Caliban, and there is many more systems lost to the Vandul. But these are not all the systems that they hold. Most Vandul systems remain classified by the UEE, with only alphanumeric designations and scattered intelligence reports hinting at their nature. Veritas BS-05. Rumors persist that the Banu Protectorate has engaged in secretive dealings with the Vandul clans based in Veritas. If this is true, this would mark one of the only known instances of non-hostile Vandul interactions with other species. Voodoo BS-10. Named for a notorious Vandul ace who preferred harsh ambush tactics, Voodoo remains a mystery. The system's role in the Vandul society is unknown, but its namesake's pilot's tactics suggest a clan that values patience and precision over brute force. Virgo BS-06. Speculative fiction often portrays Virgo as the heart of the hypothetical Vandul Empire, but no evidence supports this. The UEE has released no data on the system, leaving its true purpose to conjecture. Vespers VS-08. In 2919, the University of Rhetor detected untranslatable signals possibly originating from Vespers. Were these communications between clans, a form of Vandul language? The UEE has yet to declassify further findings. There are many strategic implications to the Vandul capturing the UEE's systems. Jump point warfare is one of them. The Vandul have the ability to exploit unknown jump points, such as the one linking Vulture to Orion. This makes them unpredictable.
The UEE's inability to map these routes leaves the frontier systems vulnerable to surprise attacks. There's also implications like resource stripping. Systems like Virgo and Caliban show the Vanduul's modus operandi. They do not conquer to rule, but to harvest, whether for raw materials, technology, or even biological resource. Their clans operate like locusts, consuming and moving on. The biggest strategic implication is the kingship factor. The presence of a kingship, such as in the Fall of Caliban or the Battle of Vega II, signals a major offensive. These mobile fortresses are rare but devastating, suggesting that only the most powerful clans possess them. The Vandul star system remains a dark frontier in humanity's understanding. Whether these systems hold permanent settlements, religious sites, or simply serve as waypoints for nomadic clans is unknown. What is clear is that the Vanduul's strength lies in their unpredictability. They do not seek territory, only survival and dominance. Until the UEE can penetrate deeper into Vandul space, or until the Vanduul themselves choose to break their silence, these systems will remain shadows on the edge of human charts, a constant reminder that the war is far from over. As the UEE prepares for future campaigns, one question lingers. Are the Vanduul merely raiders, or is there a greater purpose behind their conquest? For now, the answer lies hidden in the uncharted void of VS-01 through VS-12. Thank you for watching, and I hope that gave you the chills just as much as it gave me the chills writing it. The Vanduul are terrifying. Bye!
Hey guys! We just wanted to say a huge thank you to all our YouTube members for supporting us.
We really appreciate it, and you guys enable us to create more content.
We hope you enjoyed the video.